Okay, what we got today is a 359. A buddy of mine bought off eBay, and when he got it, he found it had low compression, around 120 pounds. Also, it has an aftermarket cylinder. It appears to be pretty new. I think what happened is I had an air leak issue. It burned up, and then somebody put a new cylinder on it and didn't take care of the issue. Tell on an aftermarket cylinder there's generally no casting marks. For some reason it's a different material, so it's a lot lighter color than the factory one. Tell the difference in the shade and the texture. It's a little smoother finish on the Husqvarna. There's also casting marks at the base and then on the caps also. Just looks a little bit different. Husqvarna will have a part number cast right there above the intake. This one was pretty easy to figure out. The intake boot is the old plastic style, and it's not even clasped. See, maybe right here's old plastic clamp, and it's not even hooked. Looking at the back side, the cylinder is scored. The front side looks good. The exhaust looks good. Either sucked some dirt in or ran just long enough to get the intake side hot. I don't think it ran too long. There's really no buildup of anything in there. And it does have a little bit of compression. Also, it has an aftermarket air filter, which really is irrelevant, as it seems to fit good. Actually, kind of a nice filter. This one has a Walbro carb on it. Had a lot of issues with these on the main jet nozzle. I'd recommend switching it out to the Zama if you have the means to. Just gets rid of any issues down the road. I'll put the part number in the description for the Zama carburetor. It's a pretty easy swap. These saws are pretty easy to work on. I'm going to take the top off of this one, show the damage, and I'm going to get some parts ordered. And we'll put it back together. Get the handle out of the way. Makes things much easier. Better access. I've got the tank drained already. There might be a little bit of fuel left in there. I'm going to pop the line. And then also the wiring. For the kill switch, they just slide on. And if you want, you can leave this in there, this intake manifold piece all together. If you don't want to take the wiring off, you can just take the carb out, slip that out, and leave the manifold in there. I think it's easier to clean it all up before you put it back together if you take care of that. And got two carb mounts or manifold mounts, rubber. Just use a screwdriver. You can pry them out of the side right here. All it does is slip inside a rubber boot. You got two bolts. Go through the carb manifold and into the intake. This saw is essentially the same as the 357. The cylinder is different, piston's a little bit different, and 357 has crank stuffers for a little bit higher base pressure. Get everything out of there. popping out. You got your throttle linkage. Screwdriver. Yep. Put that out. You get your carb out, and you'll have your manifold sitting here, your intake. Your impulse line down here should be replaced. Your fuel line should be replaced. Even if you think they're okay, while you're in here, you should do it. I'll pop the cylinder on this one. This one's pretty clean. I think the guy just rebuilt it and ended up burning it up right away. So I don't have to blow, which is nice. I don't have to blow all the sawdust out of the base to keep the inside clean. Looks like he already did that. Did a pretty good job. It looks like this is an 05 model. And it does have a base gasket, I can see. And that is loose. And the shop rag. Lift her straight out. Maybe. There we go. All your bolts set to the side. I like to use magnet trays. I'm really good at losing stuff. Looks like got a little bit of scoring on the intake side. Got a little hot. Circlips are in place. Crankcase looks nice and clean. I don't know. Let's see if this cylinder will be savable. It really doesn't look that bad. Seems that we got a couple lines in there. Let's see if I can clean them up. Maybe we'll save this one. Set the squish on it. Just smooth things out a little bit. You can see if it'll focus here. Got just a little bit of scratching on the piston. And on the intake side. Hard to see. You want to inspect your crank. Make sure everything is tight. Little to no up and down motion. Side to side is alright. And I think we'll be able to save this. Two main failures on this are that carburetor and this plastic intake boot. Even when it is clipped, that would wear from vibration and this would become loose. And you get an air leak in there. You can see how loose that is. This one also was pressed on and the impulse line was messed up here, so I'm going to have to get a updated manifold for it. And we might do a little bit of grinding and cleaning inside of this before it goes back together. Get some parts ordered and see what we can do.